Now, we've been talking about intelligence. So one of the important things that I introduced in the teaching was that there's only one I in the universe. Now, you've heard of God realization and so-called self-realization with a capital S they put on it. Well, that's only the realization of the one I. So that's supposed to be the highest state in the spiritual aspiration. The realization of the one I in the universe, which is the God, the truth, the one intelligence. So my teaching says there's only one I in the universe, and it demonstrates that by showing you that you always call here I. You've never called the person next to you I. You've never called your children I. You've never called anyone else I, and you never will. There's only one I, and that's demonstrated in your own life, your living life. I am doing this. I am going here. I believe. I. Now that's the truth. There's only one I in the universe. And the reason for that is there's only one intelligence in the universe. And when you point to your body and say, I am going to the shops, indeed your body is going to the shops, but something else is there. The intelligence in your body. Now the intelligence is the same as God, because there's only one I in the universe, and I am intelligence. But I am no body in particular. And although I am in this body, I am no body in particular. So to demonstrate that, I say, I am so subtle, so utterly without attributes, so utterly indescribable, that I am what's looking out of your eyes at this moment. Now you couldn't say what that is. You could say it's your attention, you could say it's your intelligence, you could say it's your focus, but really, what's looking out of your eyes? Now this is a very important exercise, because if you are true to the situation and the question, you will say, I don't know. I don't know what it is. And that is the truth. I don't know what it is. This intelligence is the closest you can get to God. And when you really realize that, you are that. You are nothing. Because it is nothing looking out of your eyes. That is I. That is intelligence. Intelligence is nothing. But it makes everything possible. Because the intelligence looking out of your eyes is the same intelligence looking out of any animal's eyes. The same intelligence looking out of the person's eyes next to you. Same intelligence. Has no attributes, so it doesn't matter whether the personalities are different, whether the experience is different, whether the karma or the past is different, makes no difference to I. I am always here. In the animal's eyes, in the eyes, my own eyes that see the animals, and even when I close my eyes and all the other eyes disappear, I still am. A still, silent something or other that allows me to have knowledge of being or have knowledge of nothing. That's I. Now what I varies according to the constitution of the body that it is in. So we say there's so many eyes, we think there's so many eyes in the universe, 5,000 million of them, as many bodies, but it's not true. It's the one eye looking out of all the eyes. Like now. Now if you start thinking about I, you then engage this problematical self. you don't have to work out what I'm saying. If you listen, you don't have to think. For goodness sakes, you are looking out of your eyes. I am looking out of my eyes. Do you have to think about that? There's the demonstration of it. If I have a crow's body and all the system and the constitution of a crow, who's bound up with its feathers and its skin and its beak and its appetites, all that represents the constitution or the matter in which I appear. So, I am the intelligence that never varies in the crow, but the constitution of the body makes the intelligence seem to do different things. But really the intelligence is only doing the same thing as it's doing with you. It's just being, allowing the reflection that allows a crow to be crow. But its matter is different to your matter. And even in human beings, in all the various people in this room, the constitution of our bodies, it seems to be the same, made of flesh and molecules or whatever it is made up of, cells. But really there's something more subtle in our constitution. And if we go into the ordinary scientific explanation, there's the hereditary. That is, what's handed down from the parents and the grandparents and the line of which we have come out of. But then what makes us different, each of us, is also our past. For no two people's past is the same. And so the intelligence in each of us has to appear to behave differently, but the intelligence doesn't. It's the constitution of the body, its past, its experience, its hereditary factors. The intelligence remains forever still, silent. Like now. Now that is God in the first instance. That is I. The old Bible quotation starts to have meaning. Be still and know that I am God. Now the only way you can be still is to be intelligent. And to be intelligent is to be intelligence. What's looking out of your eyes? And to take it further, what's looking out of your ears? The same thing. The same intelligence. Never moves, never does anything, absolutely poised, like now. And what's looking out of my skin? Same thing. I pervade this body, and yet I do nothing. I am absolutely still, always there. In sleep, I never sleep. I'm always there, always in this body, always alert through all the senses, always still and silent. Now that's the truth. And when the Eastern people put a capital S for self to distinguish from another so-called self, little else, when they put a capital S on it, they are talking about I, the realization of the great God, the great mystery of the universe, which is I, who makes everything possible. For I could not even see these flowers unless I had intelligence to be able to reflect. But as soon as I start to think about the flowers, I introduce a past factor of naming and judging, and I lose my intelligence. So the idea is to give up naming and judging as much as possible so that I can stay in the presence, in the realization of this I, which is not a capital S for self. I am the equivalent of God or the Most High or the intelligence of the universe. I am that in everybody. But as there is only one I in the universe, or one life in the universe that I can actually know, here it is. You cannot know any other life. Even the person next to you is a form of life. They are not life. Only I, in this body, am life. And then my body starts to disappear because life pervades my body like intelligence. But life has no form until I start to see through my senses. As soon as I go behind my senses, life is. Being is. Me is. The indescribable reflection of I, of intelligence. But if you try to think about anything that I say, you will leave this beautiful state of stillness, of I realization, of I being. I being life. For there's only one life, as I say, and that's in this body, listening to these words.